The bustling city of Manhattan was where Janet had spent most of her life. At 55, she was familiar with every cobblestone of Greenwich Village and the way the crowds danced like ocean tides. A freelance photographer, Janet had an artful eye, one that found beauty in the mundane, everyday interactions. Her life wasn't just her job, it was a collection of memories, friendships that spanned decades, and her fierce independence. That is, until she met Howard. Howard was a charming editor at a renowned publishing company. He had the air of confidence and the kind of charisma that turned heads when he entered a room. Janet bumped into him quite literally at a gallery opening, spilling a bit of her white wine on his perfectly tailored suit. They laughed it off, and soon Howard was asking about her work, showing genuine interest that he soon turned into lingering glances and inviting conversation. At first, Janet felt thrilled by Howard's attention. He was articulate, worldly, and seemed to take great interest in her. "We make quite the team," Howard would say, as he insisted she accompany him to business dinners and social gatherings. But his compliments began to weave into something more insidious, his charm turning into subtle expectations. The first sign was Howard's insistence that Janet should change her photography style to suit a more mainstream audience. "You'll have more success if you broaden your appeal," he would say, dismissing her passion for capturing raw humanity without filters. He nudged her toward more glamorous, commercial work, a directionless opposite of what she loved. Then came the criticism of her wardrobe. He would comment on her artsy attire with a wrinkled nose, suggesting new clothes that matched his idea of sophistication. It started with small gifts, a sleek dress here, a designer bag there. Soon, her own choices seemed to vanish beneath layers of what Howard deemed appropriate. Janet's friendships also began to disintegrate. Howard wasn't outright with his disdain, but would express concern over certain friends being a bad influence, or dismiss gatherings as insignificant. Gradually and insidiously, Janet found herself declining more invitations in favor of Howard's world, which slowly entrapped her. The change spread to the very core of her self-perception. "You're not 30 anymore," Howard would remind her, adorning this remark with a veneer of concern. He encouraged plastic surgery, suggested youth-enhancing products, and treated aging with disdain, planting seeds of insecurity Janet hadn't nurtured before. One evening in February, while revisiting some old photos, Janet found her favorite self-portrait. She almost didn't recognize the smiling woman staring back at her. It was a moment of revelation. Realizing how the wealthy publishing editor had lured her into a glittering prison, she saw her own slow erasure in the pursuit of being someone else's ideal. The turning point finally came during another one of the hollow gatherings. Surrounded by polished strangers, Janet caught herself repeating Howard's opinions as her own, her reflection entirely sculpted by his shadow.